Ijime Jijoka.
Beautiful. Meka.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. All right. So I'm going to pick, is that okay? Thank you so much for coming up. I'm going to pick another person so that I will do a quick recap with the person. Okay, so we have, can we do a short interaction with Adekema? Adikema, sorry if I didn't get your name correctly. Please unmute your mic and let us do a short interaction based on what you took home the other time.
I'm here.
All right.
Oyukoma.
No, okay, Oyukoma, that's great. But we are in the, are you, your side, is it morning? Is it Oyukwe? That's for morning.
It is. It's
So
morning.
if I say Eye, okay, beautiful. So if I say Eye Oma, your feedback should still be in that regard. So Eye Oma, that question like Tamla. So you should greet me back and respond to that question like Tam.
Okay. Oyukoma Jale.
Okay, so it would be, since I said Eye Oma, that question like Tam. So you are going to tell me back, like you are giving me feedback, Eye Oma. So it will be Meji Joka Tam. So I am fine today. My question was, how are you today? So you are going to respond, I am fine today. Is that okay?
Yes. Meje Joka
Tam.
Tam. Okay.
Yes,
Meje Joka Tam.
Yeah, that's today, right? So if I'm going to ask you, how is your father, right? So you are going to say, my father is fine. You know, the other time we talked about Ada, which is referred to as father, right? We talked about friend, which is Muje, right? We talked about Ina, mother. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so that by Ida usually Tamla.
Mida Joka Tam.
Exactly.
Ida
me. That's my father. Ida me. Je joka tam.
Ida me Joka Tam.
Exactly. Okay. So thank you for Meka for that. I appreciate. So the last person is going to be, is that okay? Can I move on with the last person so that we'll move proper to our section today? So I'm going to be taking, I'm seeing Rachel. Oh, is there any person like Rachel? Oh, here. Can you unmute yourself and let us interact based on your take home from last class?
Mejiladim.
Okay. Oma.
Oma.
Oh, beautiful. So you want me to respond. So go ahead and let us talk. Ask your questions. Okay, good. Meshi Joka. So I'm going to ask you, you were here, right? The other time. You were not here the first class.
Meweji recording.
All right.
Of the previous class. Imagine how to soon Ekpeye very well. So Meli will join this class to improve.
Oh wow. Umekpe share. Wami ikuduma hole. Lasem Emma Jobo, Oswebe, Opolebe, on Ekpeye Joka.
Meka.
So in Ekpeye we don't so walk
Okay.
or have to speak, right?
Okay.
All right. So thanks for makeup for joining. So I'm going to allow you now. So I want to interact with, finally, let's have a final person. I'm going to interact with David Johnson, please. So please, David Johnson, can you unmute your mic so that we do a very quick interaction just now? All right, very beautiful. Eye Oma.
Euma.
Eye Oma.
Indepume.
Omanamano.
Okay.
On that page, let time. Meanwhile, it's not compulsory that you must put the today, right? You don't have to put the time, right? Time like today. You could just say that page lela. Just how are you?
Mr. Joker.
Mr. Joker, beautiful. So I'm going to ask some more questions. So you were here last time. You could remember. Can the other person mute his or her mic? David, are you here with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so you could recall that we talked about inner. What does it mean?
Inner.
Inner. I-N-A. Inner.
I-N-A is a my.
No, that is mother.
Okay, mother. Yeah, mother, and then father is Ida.
Exactly. So we also talk about work. What does it mean? Can you call that in a pen? Work. W-O-K-R-K. Work.
Ubolo.
Ubolo. Beautiful. So we talked about house or home. Can you say it in a pen?
Yeah, Údhộ.
Eh?
I don't know the pronunciation. Is it Údhộ? Údhộ.
Exactly. Údhộ.
Údhộ. Okay. Mecca.
Hold on. So, and finally, we talked about friend. That's your friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you say it in
Noaja.
a pen? Eh?
Can you correct the pronunciation for me? Noaja.
Okay, so that's to say muje.
Okay, Nuje.
Muje. Muje bo, my friend, or a friend, that's muje. So if I say yola, what is that in English? Yola.
Yola, and you.
Yola. And you, beautiful. Thank you so much. Meka.
Yeah,
So
Mecca.
you can mute yourself. So amazing. So we learned a lot the other time. Today is going to be amazing. I promise you, like the teacher did the other time. It's going to be amazing. Thanks for having us. Welcome, teacher for today. Same teacher like last time, Mr. Justice. Please give him a heart. Can we give him some heart? Can we react? Can we do a clap for him? So over to you, please.
Okay, when I'm a God side maker, you my baby madu, Ebeleni. Good afternoon to all of you. You're welcome. A journey, baby, you're welcome to this afternoon session. This is the second lesson of this series. You mudo lay game bo agbo ebe bo lokbom. Amude mene wune look back kunozumu gama. Abo you mudo anuzu. I am Genebo. That is the last week we went through the first lesson. This afternoon is the second lesson. Issue mudamudige de yem bo ordo li èmene. The title of the lesson this afternoon is family, and people. Okay, from last week's lesson, I want to add something. I think when you greet good morning, Oyukuma, Eyuma, Eloma, there's a response, and I think I missed that last time. So please pay attention. The response to good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Oyukuma, Eyuma, Eloma is Jale Oyukwe, Jale Eye, Jale La. When someone greets you, Oyukuma, you respond Jale Oyukwe. That is very good morning. When you are greeted Eyuma, your response should be Jale Eye, Jale Eye. Right? That is very good afternoon. Eloma, Jale La. So let's take note of that addition, which was missed last time. Oyukuma, Jalo Oyukwe. Eyuma, Jaleye. Eloma, Jalela. Okay, our lesson today is lesson 2, family and people. Odo li èmene. Odo li èmene. Odo is house, that is physical building. Odo is family. Èmene is people. Èmene means people. Èmene. Odo li èmene. Odo li èmene. Family and people. That's our lesson for this afternoon. Le is and. It also has other meanings. That is, it's a linking word. And, with, on, it. That is le. So anywhere I say le, no, it's a linking word, linking words together. So let's move on. Let's move on. Odo le mene. Yabo last time we mentioned the pronouns. I think some of them, like me, that is for I, and me, the same word, not separate, but they are said differently sometimes. Like you see on the screen, me, when standing on its own, you're referring to yourself, me. Me, I is me. Me. Then in other contexts, in other usages too, could become mele or me. You, me. Edame, me. That is mele. If you want to pronounce the word fu, it becomes mele, but it's usually me. Edame, me. That is my father and I. Or my father and me, dash, 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 dash. Then in context, sometimes you don't use me. Depending on the usage, you say mo. Mo. For example, where you use the second one, this one, the second personal pronoun is, for example, yawene mo, yawene mo iye, yawene mi iye. That is bring me something. The me there becomes mo in such usage. So anywhere you hear people conversing, or in maybe anywhere you hear Ekpeye sentences or statements, and you hear mo, it is very likely the person is referring to himself or herself. So yawene mu iye, yawene mi iye, yawene mo iye, bring me something. Etashinemu iye, etashinemu iye. Don't spoil something for me. Don't spoil my thing. That is the mo. You don't use me in that place, in such context. Then the next one, you. You, singular you. Singular you. You in Ekpeye is you. You. Then we are going to see an example when it becomes yo or yolo, just like in the me. You have me, mele, and me. Edame, me, my father and I, or my father and me. Then you, when it stands alone, You still have YOLO or yo, which the L, like I said in the first class, the L becomes silent. You use a contraction. You eliminate the L and use only YOO. Yo. YOLO. Then you have he or she. You're referring to someone, he or she. You use ya. Yeah. 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 That is his or her thing. Yeah. Yeah is he or she. Yala. Edame yala. Ename yala. That is my mother or my father also. But we are going to see some examples to explain these pronouns better. So we also have a and a. A and a. For it. Gonua. Gonua. Gonu is take. A is it. Take it. Gonua. Ma. That is do it. Me is do. Ma. Me. That is M-E. And the a becomes it. Do it. Ma. Mea. I'm trying to also pronounce the words one, then pronounce the words the way a native speaker would pronounce them. That is using contraction. The last vowel in the word becomes silent. Then the first vowel in the next word will be stressed in most cases. That's what I'm trying to do, to pick the words one, and also still say the words like a native speaker. And that that thing, yeah, is still that. Many many mu, many mu, many mu, do for me. The mu in this is also in this sentence. Mu, which I said is another way of saying me or I. Many mu, do for me that thing. Many mu, iya is thing. Ya is that. Iya, that thing. Many mu, iya. Do for me that thing. Or okay. And then we have this pronoun to when you are referring to a group of people, you included, which is we. That is ye, yele, us, our, I think the better way for us to understand is using sentences, and we have some sentences and statements to help us understand. So wherever you hear ye, no, the person is talking about we, ye, we. Then us is still the same. Ye, yele, depends on, or ye, which is a short form of yele. The L has been silenced. It becomes ye, which is yele, the same thing. And ye, our own, ye, that becomes is our, O-U-R. That is our. Then we have, when you referring to, like in last class, it was mentioned, they, them, their, be, be, their thing, muje be, their friend. From last class, muje is friend. Muje be, their friend. Muje be. So be is their, be is still there, them, all of them mixed together. Bele, be. This I don't know if you can see my screen where the cursor is pointing now. This one, this be is still the same as this. In this first be here, the L has been removed and the air has been stressed, which is still the same thing as tonal mark going up and coming down. Be, which is this be. This is bele. They are still the same thing. Then from the lesson topic, family, Údhộ. Údhộ. That's our family. It means your immediate family or your extended family. It's still Údhộ. We are going to encounter another word for extended family. Like in Ekpeye, we have 8 families extended. They can be in any community. You can go to any community in Ekpeye. As far as you are from that family, they are still your brothers, direct from your family. Obodo. Obodo is still family, extended family, which can be found anywhere in Ekpeye. So, these are some examples. Example number 1, Ada me, Ada mele, aze ize. I'm trying to pick the words one so that you understand them. Then I'm going to say the words the way a native speaker would say them. Ada aze ize. Ada and I traveled, or Ada and I went on a journey. Ada mele, which is still the same as me. Ada me aze ize. So we are, in the example 1, the pronoun there that we are looking at is me. In this usage, Ada me aze ize. Ada me aze ize. Ada me aze ize. You see the ze and ize. Ada me aze ize. Zize. That's how you're going to say it. Instead of picking the words one, Ada me aze ize. But as a beginner speaker, you can pick the words one, which is not bad. Then our example number 2 there, and bring me that thing. How are you going to say it? Look at the use of mo as me. Yawene mo iyeya. Yawene mo. The mo is me. Yahweh is bring. Yahweh. Yawene mo, bring for me that thing, literally. But you know, in English, you can't translate it like that. Bring me that thing is better. But literally, it means Yawene mo, bring for me or bring to me, yeah, that thing. Bring me that thing. Yawene mo. So mo is me in this example number 2. Then example number 3, you have bear. Bear, you still have ye. So bear, that is they. Ye, that is us. Bear, ye, age, loka. Bear, ye, age, loka. There are other ways you could speak this use this sentence and still make the same meaning. You could still say bear, ye, age, loka. That is, they and us are in conflict. Oka is conflict. That is trouble, problem. J is be. Be, ye, are. They are. They are in the sentence is they and us together. Everybody in the sentence. They and us. Be, ye, age, loka. Be, ye, age, loka. Then our number 4 example here. I don't know, that word has not been introduced. Omu. That is the number 4 example. Omu. That is in full. If you want to say that word in full, that is this. That is the short form. The U has been removed. It should be OMU, but the U has been removed. You could still pronounce it fully. Bame. Ya. Bayo. bo ame. This is my own, or this is mine. Bo ame. Me is me. Omu is this. Bo means is. Ame, that is my own. Ame means my own. Ya bo are you. That is his own, or your own, or that is yours. Yeah. Like in the previous slide, we said, yeah, is that. Bo means is your own. Yeah, bo are you. Bo am.
Okay, please give us some time. I think his network from his end is going to come back. He's going to be back shortly.
Disconnected. Okay, sorry, I had a network issue. Let me reconnect. Hope you can still see my screen.
Hello, Weja.
Okay, mekan. Sorry for the network issue. Number 5 example. Ude lobolo. Be is day in this case, or you could still say ude alolo, including yourself. The a becomes everybody
Now where your
and you.
screen? Now where your screen are there? Where the screen are the mekado?
Okay,
Now where
okay,
your screen are there? Yes.
okay, Meluja. Okay, can you see the screen now?
Hello, Weja.
Okay, hello, Wejini.
Usually describing people. Now why they measure ujeji woman? This is the other measure ujeji woman.
Please, okay. Okay, number 5 example.
Exactly.
Ewejema. Hello, Wejini screen me. Can you see my screen?
Wejema. Jiho.
Okay, mekan. Ngwa. Ude lobolo, our family are in a meeting. So you see the use of odo, which is family, and be. Odo is lobe, be, and odo, be is day. Then let's move on. Describing people. Unyoma. Unyoma is female. Unyoma is female. Ukoma is male. Could mean an adult or child. Unyoma. Ungunyoma. Ungukoma. Just female and male. Ukoma is male. Unyoma is female. Ena. Ena means mother. It also means feminine. When you're referring to any feminine, whether human beings or or non-humans could refer to any animal or anything that is feminine as ena. Ena means mother. Like in the first lesson, it was emphasized. Ena is mother. Eda is father. So when you say ena, in some cases, you're referring to maybe not a human, something else. Maybe an animal, you say ena. It means you're referring to the female animal. Then eke is masculine. You're referring to the male animal or the male thing. Then ongolugbede is girl. Ongolugbede, that is girl child. Ongolugbede, girl. Ongolugboji is boy, the boy child. Ongolugboji, boy child, or a male child. Then female youth is ogbede. Female youth, ogbede. Ogbede is female youth. Ugboji is male youth. A young man, be from 18 years and above or so. You can refer to the person as Ugboji for a male, Ugbede for a female. Then Unungwe. I used the Unungwe last class to refer to that is some men call their wives my woman, my wife, which is a Mrs. or woman. Unungwe. Uduke is man. Unuke is Mr. Unuke is Mr. Then we have Ina. Okay, it's still here. Ina Leda. Ina. That is mother. Eda is father. Now, if you go to, especially in our villages, and those who grew up in the villages or those still there, most times they don't just call Ina, they call Ino. You can still adapt that or adopt that. You can still adopt that to your Ekpeye conversation. Maybe you can call your mother, your father, Ino. If you should call your mother or father, Ino, they will know something is happening in your life. You are learning Ekpeye. You could say Ino, that is mother. Ido, father. Then when you want to refer to your mother or your father that's in a loving way, endearing way, you say Inene. Maybe you can practice it. You can just call your mother Inene. Or if you should call your mother Inene, she will feel very happy. What?
Bo emelaga
Okay, I thought.
de emelaga ya fast ka ya venture country ko.
Okay, Adem. Okay,
De la be ya venture country ko. Be la
Mono
ga.
John.
Meka.
Okay. So Ina. Okay, so I'm going to be slow so that we can get it better. Ina, Ino, Inene. Inene is an endearing word for mother. A loving way of saying mother. Inene. Can call your mother Inene. Can call your father Idede. Ido. Ino. Iname, my mother. Edame, my father. Ido. Ino. Okay, let's move on. When you like last class, we mentioned Nwana. Nwana is general word for brother or sister. General word for brother or sister, that is Nwana. Then when you want to be specific, whether it is a sister you're referring to or a brother, then you say Nwana Unyuma. Nwana Unyuma. Nwana Unyuma for sister. That is literally it means relative, a female relative. Female relative, unyoma. I don't know if it was in the last slide. Okay. Yes, is there a female and a male, unyoma, ukoma. So when you're referring to a female relative, you say nwana unyoma. Nwana unyoma. Nwana me a unyoma, my sister. Nwana me a unyoma. Me is me. Nwana is relative, which could be a brother or sister. You want to be specific. You say nwana unyoma. Nwana unyoma. Nwana me a unyoma. That is my relative, my female relative, which is my sister. My sister, nwana me a unyoma. Nwana me a unyoma. Then nwana ukoma is brother. Nwana ukoma. Ukoma is a male. Nwana is brother. It's it's a relative. Nwana ukoma, brother. That is a male relative, which is your brother. Nwana me a ukoma. Nwana me a ukoma, my brother. Me is me. That is a possessive way of saying it. That adding the is you are making it yours. You are using that as possessive. Then nwanina or nwanida. Ina is mother. Eda is father. Nwanina. Nwanina me a unyoma, my aunt. Nwanina me a unyoma, my aunt. That is literally, it means my mother's relative, female. My mother's female relative, which is your aunt.
Yeah. Let's listen
Then,
to it from phone.
please mute your mic, the person talking. Kakotekale microphone you. Mute your mic, please. Then imena. Nwuneke dame aukuma. Uncle. Imena. I think we are going to have a class to explain this imena better and a way of greeting. There's another way of greeting too in Ekpeye, not just oyukuma, eyuma, eloma. There's another way you greet. I think there's a lesson specifically for that way of greeting. So that you greet your mother's people in a different way. And in gatherings, there's also a way of greeting. Imena is your mother's people, your mother's relatives. They are your imena. Imena me, my mother's relative. So anywhere I say your mother's relatives, you can refer to them as imena. Imena, which is my mother's relatives. Then Weneke Dame Aukuma, as uncle, my father's younger brother. So wherever you see Ukuma, they are referring to male, to me. Then when you say Nwana, is a relative, so male relative. Then Ina is a mother. Ina is mother. Eda is father. So when you want to call your grandmother, your own grandmother or grandfather, you will not call them Eda or Ina. Ehu bebo. Ewabe. Ebo Enakani. Edakani. Enakani is grandmother. Enakani is grandmother. Edakani is grandfather. And which is The two of them, they are a combination of two words, ena and okane. Ena, okane. Ena is mother, okane is old. 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 So enakane, if you want to break it down, it becomes mother, old mother. Okane is old. Ena is mother. The same for idakane. Idakane me. Idakane yo. Idakane yo is your grandfather. Idakane me is my grandfather. Idakane be. Idakane be their grandfather. So grandmother is Inakane. Grandfather is Idakane. Then you want to refer to an old woman or an old man. An old woman, Anakane. Anakane.
Good evening.
Yeah, please mute your mic. Mute your mic. Who is speaking? Mute your mic. After the class, you can ask questions. Okay. Anakane. Adakane. Anakane is old woman. Adakane, old man. Okay, let's
Come
move
on,
on.
put it there.
So siblings, you can say omonwana, 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 your siblings. And people still use omonwana referring not just siblings but still relatives. Omonwana me, that is my siblings or my relatives, could still mean relatives. Omonwana, that is a group of your relatives, which is your siblings in one hand or a group of your relatives in another hand. Siblings, omonwana. Then your niece here in Ekpeye, like in the first lesson, I was saying that Ekpeye worldview and the English worldview, they're not the same. And the way Ekpeye refer to things is not the same way the English refer to things. Like niece, when you're talking about niece, you're not in Ekpeye, you're not referring to your mother's side. You are usually referring to your father's side. Unwanwana unyuma. Unyuma. Unwanwana unyuma. Unwanwana generally is child of my relative, child of my brother or my sister. My brother's child, my sister's child. That is unwanwana. Unwo, like mentioned in the first class, is child. Unwo is child. Wana is brother or sister, a relative. Unwanwana unyuma. That is my brother's child, a female. My brother's female child. Unwanwana unyuma. Then your nephew is still unwanwana. Unwanwana ukuma. Ekono. Now you have your mother's people, your mother's brothers. They are your èmene. Then your sisters or your relatives, your female relatives, children, especially the male child of your sister, any relative, maybe sibling, maybe not sibling, but from your family, is your ekono. Ekono is your sister's child. That is ekono. Please take note from today. You can refer to your sister's child as ekono. Ekonome. Ekonome. Ndekbejela. Ekonome. So wherever you hear ekono, you're talking about your sister's child. Somebody can call you ekonome. That is my sister's child. That person is your uncle. It may not be from your mother's immediate family, but The family system in Ekpeye, like I was trying to explain, covers that. So Ekono usually referring to male. Please, let's pay attention. Mute your mic. Mute your mic, please. Then husband, Iji. Ebo, Ijime. Iji Waname. Iji Waname. Iji is husband. Wana is relative. A brother or a sister. In this case, a sister. Waname, my sister. You don't really need to put unyoma because we know in this part of the world, in our culture, when you mention Iji, husband is male and female marriage. Iji Waname, my relative's husband, which is, so the relative you are referring to is sister in this case. So you don't need to say Iji Waname unyoma. You don't need to put unyoma. You just say Iji Waname. That is my sister's husband. Or Ebo Waname, my sister's husband. So wife in Ekpeye is Weni. Weni. Ununwe. Ununwe is woman. You can still call your wife Ununwe me, my wife. Weni. Weni me. Weni Waname. Weni Waname, my brother's wife. Weni Waname. Then we have a mother-in-law, father-in-law. Enugwo, Ena Ogwo, like this here. If you look at the slide, we have Ena Ogwo, but it's not spelled. All the words are not spelled there. It should be INA, then UGWO. Enugwo, Ena Ogwo. That is mother-in-law. Mother-in-law. Father-in-law is the same thing. Eda Ogwo. Eda is father. In-law is Ogwo. So Edogwo, Enogwo, father-in-law, mother-in-law. I hope the information is not too much. We still have some slides. Sister-in-law, Onwogwo, Onwogwo Unyuma. Onwogwo Unyuma. Onwogwo in itself is in-law. That is now not father-in-law. So I'm trying to explain it so that we understand. Onwo is child. Ogwo is in-law. So here, let me point at the place I'm referring to. Here, sister-in-law and brother-in-law. Onwo Ogwo. Onwogwo. Onwogwo Unyuma. Sister-in-law. Onwogwo Ukoma. Brother-in-law. Onwogwo Ukoma. Onwogwo Unyuma. Onwogwo Ukoma. Onwogwo Unyuma. That's a native speaker is going to pronounce these words. Brother-in-law, sister-in-law. Then you have my mother, which I've been saying, my mother, my father, Edame, Ename. My father, my mother, my grandmother, my grandfather. Edakane is grandfather. Enakane is grandmother. Enakane me. Edakane me. My grandmother, my grandfather. Edakane me. Enakane me. So anywhere you hear such words used together, you should know their meaning now. So let's move on. Child is unwo. Child is unwo. Unwo. Then children, umelede. 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 Children, umelede. Umelede is children. Unwo is child. Then okay, we have mentioned a lot of them already on this slide. Mention them. We have yeah,
All right, please, let's give him some time. He's going to come up shortly. I believe we are learning a lot already. He's going to come up here shortly, please.
Recording in progress.
He lost connection, but he's going to be up here soon. Okay, please. He lost connection. He's going to be here just soon. Okay, but why that happened, please do well to note your questions. Do well to write your question down. Once you come up here, we are going to round up and then you ask your questions. Yes, please, you can use the chat to drop your questions. Okay, he's already here, please. Ne ujeji. Teacher, that's the teacher. Eji Holadem, are you here now?
Network laptop ya so o join with phone.
Okay, iwudita ujeji gede homom or anam o benchi.
Ujeja, make sure on my screen.
Okay, iba to go say yenwo, but to make page. What would you mean, teacher? Okay, please bear with us. Our teacher plus his connection is going to be back just soon. He's going to be back just soon.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please. Amikenuju.
Okay. Okay. I don't know my network me. I was just logged out from the computer. This I was using. So, let's just hurry and okay. Then okay. Most of these words have been introduced. Me and you, merely you. Me and you, me, the you. Or another way of saying is yo mele. Yo mele. Yo me for short. So Mujeyo is your friend. Your friend is Mujeyo. Your friend Mujeyo. Their own, theirs. Abe. Abe is their own. Abe is their own. Or theirs. They have a family, like in the title of today's lesson. Údhộ, èmene. Údhộ means family. It means house also. Another way of saying family, like yeah, extended family, like I was trying to explain. I think it's one of our classes for in this series where we are going to look at the 8 families in Ekpeye. That is families that you can find in all the communities or almost all the communities. It's also called Obodo, dead family. Obodoye, Údhọ̀yè, Ude, Údhọ̀yè. It's still the same thing as Obodoye. Then, like I was trying to explain earlier, Om and Omu, they are the same thing. The Om is just a short form of Omu. So let's move to the next slide. Okay, please move to the next slide. The next slide, we have some examples on the next slide. Okay, we have some examples on the slide here. So you may want to say, my family will be going to a traditional wedding next week. My family. Take note of the use of family here and me, or they, or them. Ude ezebe odogwo logbakunozu we. Ogbakunozu is week. That is the word for week. Week from, that is 7 days in the week. Ogbakunozu. Odoye obodoye ezebe odogwo le ogbakunozu. My family, our family. Ezebe, they will be going. That is, let's say in a situation where you are not also going with them, you can say ezebe be. Ezebe odogwo. Ode ezebe odogwo logbakunozu we. Then the second example there is the number 2 example. Ido le ino jibejoka. Ido le ino jibejoka. Maybe a sibling can ask you, ndekpo ido le ino jebela. Ndekpo ido le ino jebela. That is how is father and ino jibejoka. As father and mother are fine. Ido is another word for father. Ino is another word for mother. Then the third example, Omonwana me, mele, ale, tedi idakaniye abede. Omonwana me, that is my relatives. Mele, my relatives and I went to greet our grandfather. Then the number 4th example, nye. Anywhere I see nye or you hear people say nye, they're talking about person. Nye were that person. Nye were bugede umelede. Umelede is children. But now when you are referring to group of group of people, group of when you refer to person as a child in this context, just say then ungome oshia. That is my child. Yeah. So whenever I hear yeah, no, is that ungome, my child. Ungome oshia. That is my child. So please take note of these words. Odo, ido, ino, omonwana. Okay, let's have the last slide before we end the class. Let's have the last slide. We just say musicians, like the doctor. What's the doctor called in Ekpeye? Ejiriye is a doctor. You can call um, doctor several names, different ways to call doctor. Dibio. You can say Nyewele, that is, or Ewele. Nyewele. There are other different ways you could call a doctor. Okay, someone just indicated that I think she's a doctor, and Tiffany is a doctor, I think so. So Dibio is a doctor. Craftsman, Nyoka or Imoka. Imoka is a craftsman. Then carpenter, carpenter, which is an adaptation of the English word carpenter. So carpenter, that is a carpenter. Cobbler, that is one who works in shoes and sandals. Emeke okuko. Then you have chef or a cook, someone who cooks food. Someone who cooks or a chef is called Eshite. Then a plumber. A plumber is Ugbolo meaning. Ugbolo. From our previous class, we learned that Ugbolo is work. It's work. W-O-R-K. Work. Ugbolo meaning. Meaning is water. Nye is person. Nye Ugbolo meaning person, work, water. Put together, person who works with water. Ugbolo meaning, which is a plumber. Electrician, Eche. Eche is light, it's a fire. It also means light. And then driver or ugbele, or adapted from English, lawyer. Lawyer. Weather. Then farmer and Eka is farm. Who works in the farm is a farmer. Eka is a farmer. So some persons are asking already. That is an exercise. So you take it. You take it to anyone who has a question to ask can ask. You So if you have any question, you can ask before we end the class. But those asking about this professions work and job, I think there's an exercise for the class. So you go and look for name of a tailor, like someone asked, what's the Ekpeye name for a tailor? That's one of our exercises. So if you have a question, you can ask. Inwele ajuju. A question, ask. Please, the moderator, you can continue.
Okay, so Mekanya Ujejitam. I believe we have learned a lot. And if you have any, if you have any ajuju if you have any question you want to ask, We are going to allow you to unmute your mic so that you can ask. But then before we unmute your mic, we want to get some questions from the chat. Then we'll allow you to ask if you want to come up and ask. So, New Jersey, thank you for the beautiful section you did now. It was amazing. We learned a lot. We appreciate your time and the effort you put in this. Can we give him a heart? I hope we learned a lot. Can we give him a heart? We want to be sure you are still here. Can we give him a heart? Give him some reactions. We can as well. We can clap for him. If that's okay. New Jersey, and we some. So I'm with some attitude more to sharp ladim. First question we have here is can mother-in-law also be pronounced ena? Okay, so she didn't spell it well, but she want to say ena ijime. Ena ijime. That's first question. Second question, Bo. How do you say tailor or someone that sews clothes? The third question here is how to pronounce co-wife. So we have this question in the chat box. Can you address them now, please? New Sheshi, can you address them now?
Okay, the first question, enajime. Enaiji, we know that is when you want to break the word, you want to break it down, it is enaijime. That is my husband's mother. But you don't pronounce the words like that. You say enajime, not enaijime. When you want to pronounce them together, you say enajime. Enajime. That's my husband's mother. Enajime. Then the second question I was asked, Taylor, I think that is in one of our assignments. I'm going to leave that. It's in our assignment for this class, so that at the end,
All right.
we are going to bring the name. Yes. Then the third question, I didn't get the third question.
Co-wife.
Co-wife, like co-wives,
Okay. That's a husband's wife, man. Someone husband's wife, co-wife.
Yes.
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 When is Jime, which is my husband's wife.
Okay, so
we call that yes.
all right. So we have another question here. We have what is cousin?
Okay, cousin, like I was trying to explain. Cousin could be a Imena. Cousin could be a Econo. Cousin could be a Wana. Okay, let's say your father's brother's children, they are Wana, which is still cousin. There's no particular word for cousin, but then using the English meaning of cousin, your father's brother's children, they are cousins. Wana ukoma, wana unyuma. Then your mother's children. Imena, as from your mother's side, which in English they are your cousins, but they are from your mother's side. So they are your Imena, and you have a special way of greeting them. You have to show utmost respect to them because of they are from your mother's place. But then that is not in the scope of today's lesson. It's in another lesson where we are going to learn how to greet your èmene, your mother's people. That is your mother's brothers, your mother's brothers' children, all that. So those are the words for cousin. Then you still have ekono, which is your sister's children. Your sister's child is your ekono.
All right. So, Emeka.
Those are the words. Emeka.
All right. We have 2 more questions before we can allow them to unmute and ask. We have my brother's in-law's wife. And second question, how do we say, welcome my brother and my sisters? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. My brother's in-law's wife. First question. Second question, how do we say, welcome my brother and sisters?
Brother-in-law, that is
brother-in-law's wife.
Brother-in-law's wife. That is let's break it down. That is for brother-in-law. Okay, that is, for example, a man's wife's brother. A man's wife's brother.
I
And
guess.
his own wife. The brother of your wife, his own wife. I don't there may not be any word like that in Ekpeye, any particular words. Or your in-laws, and wife, brother-in-law's wife. I'm not sure there's any particular word.
Okay. So I believe, are you with me?
Yes.
I believe the wife of your brother, your elder brother, should be like
okay, winning 1 hour.
Exactly.
Winning 1 hour. Your brother's wife. But the question is your brother-in-law's wife.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. If you say winning management. Winning management. As the wife of your brother-in-law. Okay, I understand the question better now. Winning management. Yes. Then and what is the next question?
Welcome my brother and sisters. How do you say?
Okay, that is there are 2 ways of saying it. So depends on the welcome you're referring to. Like in the first class, say welcome, say ejale, eyale, which is ele. So if you are welcoming people like your brothers and sisters, I can say ejalene, omonwaname, ejalene. Put one of their brother and sister. So ejalene, omonwaname.
Okay, Meka. Yabo belole ajuju anwele le chat. So please, moving on, if you have any other ajojo, you can unmute or give me a hand up. You can raise your hand if you have any ajojo, so that we will unmute you and then you go ahead with your ajojo. Can you raise your hand if you have any ajojo so that we can wrap up just now? I cannot see any hand. Is it my screen? Oshibaniwe ajojo. Oshibaniwe ajojo Adam. Is there any question? And if you ask question in the chat and it was not properly addressed, let us know if you want to have any further clarification on that. Or you could just acknowledge if you heard the news term, or if you heard incorrectly.
Daddy, you're
Any
going
other-
out.
So please unmute if you have any other. I'm going to allow you to unmute, even though you don't, even if you do not raise your hand. Go ahead and unmute and ask questions. Okay, so in the absence of no,
Please, what does house help means?
okay, so please over to you, Neil Jeje. House help.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, house help is someone who takes care of the child in the person. So, nye ejunwo, that is the one who carries or takes care of the child. Nye ejunwo is the house help. Nye ejunwo is house help.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you, Meka. So I want to just ask. We talked about family as order. And also in our previous class, we also said that order is home or house. If I'm correct, can you give us, do you want to say anything about that? Family, order, house,
Okay.
order, and home, order.
Okay, in Ekpeye, some words have more than 1 minute sometimes, and in this case, that's 3 minutes. Order. It's like you said, home, it's family, it's house. So it has more than 1 minute. It depends on the context, on the usage in the sentence. Then you can differentiate whether it is you're talking about your family, or you're talking about home, or you're talking about the house. So the three of them, they share one word. And also Obudo. It's another way of saying family, but it's another way of saying family. Like the eight extended families in Ekpeye, 8 Obudos. Meka.
All right. So I want to quickly apologize to us for the delay in today's section. It was intended for at most 1 hour 30 minutes, but we exceeded our time because of technical issues. So that said, I'm going to allow our teacher for today to quickly do a quick talk. Just 1 minute to round up, 1 minute to tell us anything so that we can end the class. So over to you, usually in 1 minute, tell us anything you want us to hear so that I can.
Okay, I want to thank you for the class. Ekpeye, that is, we have to put some effort learning Ekpeye language. Keep speaking. People may laugh at you, but just keep at it. Keep speaking. Keep learning. Ask questions, and people help you understand it. But practice makes perfect.
Meka, so thank you so much for today. We appreciate you. You were incredible, I must say. So for everyone that participated, we want to appreciate you for your time. Ubeyo time, we did not take it for granted, and your patience as well. Now, like we said before, it is 10-week classes. The program was meant for 10 weeks, and then we have just done 2 weeks. So it's remaining 8 weeks. So we want to implore you to be committed to these sections and other ones that will be coming. So do well to invite your friends, your family, and your well-wishers. Invite everyone. Now, for more learning resources, you can scan this QR code on the screen. And also, if you want to support us, you feel what we are doing is idea, and you want us to do more, you want us to organize program like this, you want us to do more as a foundation. Remember, we are non-governmental organization, so you can always give us your support in kind, in cash, ensure you preach the Speak Ekpeye Fluently, our values and what we stand for. So you can always do well to reach out to us and share this gospel of Glen Mode Ono Ekpeye. So in the absence of no other information, we are going to forward any other crucial information to the WhatsApp page. So Mekane, thank you everyone.